Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes, otherwise known lately as Milton Occasional Homes. We have 22 listings in today's list, combination of today and yesterday's lists, and not much to say. I'll kind of scroll through this pretty quick. There's a couple condos here. Get 1130 square foot home here on Chutchmatch. Based on what else has been selling, seems a little bit high to me. A couple more townhouses here. The Lavery one's not bad at kind of mid 600s. We've got a couple of older Milton homes. It's interesting because the Clover Park needs better photos. I think it actually would show better than Marcellus. I would take the location on Marcellus above that. So anyway, what else do we have here? We talked about this last week. A 1.5 car garage is not as valuable as a 2. It's valued much more like a 1 car garage than it is a 2. The advantage sometimes is you get your 2 car parking in the driveway. And $789 is probably a little bit steep if you compare it to something even like Howden yesterday with 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms. This one has the finished basement. It also has a deeper lot too, so it's 113, which is a very respectable size. Laurier is a much busier street than Howden, but there's 40,000 difference between the two. You could put a finished basement in Howden, and to me, that starts to look a little bit better. But this one's in good shape. The other thing that, if we kind of go into the pictures here, these are cabinets that were painted. I'm almost sure, because there's not really, like, I don't think any builders at the time this was being built that offered that color of cabinet. So they've been painted. You get to watch with quality when that happens. And this little kind of dippy thing that used to be all the rage in cabinets has now dated itself. The style is much more square and linear than to have any sort of curvature in the cabinets. There's a couple in this list that do have that style, and we're just seeing that it immediately dates the home. It's like watching the fashion trends from Friends. If it's like nobody dresses like that anymore. So this one on Farmstead is the same thing that I said about Kavanaugh. You're right on the corner here. So it's a Plan 5 corner, just over 1,600 square feet. It has the double car garage. 819 is a little ambitious in my opinion. It's got open concept floor plan. We may be launching this model in a different location, really good location close to a park. So stay tuned about that. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a lovely home. So this either comes in a 4-bedroom or a 3 plus a loft, and this one is the 3 plus a loft, and then you've got your pond behind. So you've got busy road and then you have pond. Those two things cancel out, and so if you look at a 1,600 square foot double car garage, there was a point in 2017 where this price would have been, for sure right on the mark. I don't feel like they could get this price now for this home. I just don't think it's in the cards for this property. So I like this location on Childs. It's kind of in further, like it's well away from Thompson. I find the stuff by Thompson doesn't look as good as when you get closer to even the townhouses in the mall. I find that side looks better. But you have a pool that's now been closed, so you want to make sure it's professionally closed, because when you open it and something happens, you want to know that at least it was in operational order before you actually got your keys. But there's no guarantees. That's one of the things about buying homes in colder weather. We can't really even test air conditioner at this point. So we look and say, well, it's 5 years old. This is what a home inspector will tell you too. They can't turn it on. And so the warranty, normally you'd say, okay, the seller's going to warrant everything is going to be in good working order, up to and including the closing. So you get your keys, you go over, you check the home, and if anything's wrong, you call your lawyer, and usually call us too. But no seller is going to warranty things past that day. Now, there are some ways that you can kind of negotiate almost some money set aside. it depends on the situation, depends on the strength of the market too, because a seller that really needs to sell and has a lot of competition and not a lot of leverage, in the spring no one ever did that. Now a buyer might come in and say, look, if I open it doesn't work, what are we going to do about this? But traditionally there's not a lot of recourse for a buyer. So it's a nice looking home, well furnished. There's still, this is another example of some painted cabinets, so you really want to check and make sure that they're done well. And overall impression is strong. Nice little bar downstairs. So you've got 4-bedroom double car garage, detached home with a pool and a finished basement. Nice one. That's the wish list straight off the bat. If there's any holes you could punch in this one, it's on a busy street. So I actually really like this one on Steeles. I mentioned right in town right now, homes, per acre are going for probably 1.2, 1.3 million for the land. So this one's 1.5. You get 10 acres, you're a little further out, but this is not far. Like this is, you're in town in like 3 or 4 minutes kind of thing. So you're subject to NEC. It sounds like they've got some approvals for a building, which is good. But I think 150,000 an acre is pretty awesome. How much of that is usable land, I don't know. I'm just going by the pictures here. There's really the value here for this old pool is just the fact that a hole's been dug. I think you're probably going to have to rip more out and then put a new pool in. But the views are great. You can actually, I've sold homes right on the brow of the escarpment right here. You can see weather patterns come in. You can actually check the 401 before you leave. It's really, really nice. And it's actually a few degrees cooler up there compared to down low in the city where the peasants live. Anyway, this is a kind of a cool house. It's not cool house, it's a cool property. 10 acres. I think the price is amazing. If there's the approval for 5,000 square foot bungalow, you're probably spending $300 a square foot to build that. 1.5 puts you at a total of 3 million. And I think for what else is out there at 3 million, that you would have a home that's probably worth more than that when it's all said and done. And again, long term, same as we talked about Given Lane, this is the kind of location that the sky's the limit. As Milton grows, we're 100 and something thousand, 200, 300,000. And you imagine having 10 acres this close to Milton, I don't see how you lose on it. Okay, so that's the list. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll see you soon.